Cool. Good day. Today we're going to be discussing chapter 15, part 2 of data visualization. And Pia is going to be navigating my session. So, firstly, you have this class here, die, and basically, here we have parameter set to 6 as a default value, and then we have the row method over here, which uses the random integer method, which will display numbers from 1 all the way to the numbers of sides between there. So then basically importing plotly express is what we did, and setting it to px using the alias. Then we over here have two instances over here, first dice and the second dice, and the value passed to it is 8, basically representing the sides of the dice. So there's 8 sides assigned to it. Then we have an empty list results, and then this for loop over here, row number loops through the range, which is set to 2000 over here, and the sum of dice within it, there's a calculation where the row method is called twice, using the first instance die 1 and the second instance die 2, and adding that, and you get the final value, which is the sum of dice. And the sum of dice is basically appended to the results list over here, which will show all the results for the dices that are rolled 1,000 times for both dices. Then we have the maximum result, which basically calculates the number of sides and adds them together. So in this case, 8 is assigned to the number of sides as an argument, and we basically get 16 as the maximum result. And then we have this list frequency, and basically over here we have the parse result, which ranges from 2 all the way till the maximum result, which is 16. And this for loop loops through the parse results over here, and while it does that, the frequency is determined by this count method, which basically counts all the values within the results list, so all the results, and basically it appends the frequency, so all the results, to the frequency list over here. So basically that will just show the amount of times a specific result occurs, so the occurrence. Then the title over here of the graph, the labels, then the figure over here, which has the parse results, frequency, title, and labels. And parse results are assigned to X, frequency is assigned to Y, and then fig.show basically just displays the graph essentially. So over here you can see the graph, and it shows the sum of dice, which is 7, and the frequency 82, and it just shows the sum of dice and the frequency for each for each value. Then over here, just creating a third dice, so third instance basically. The range is 1,000. The list is still empty, but because we have a third instance, we basically we add another dice here. So another method, the method is called 3 times, this time here with the third instance, and it calculates for all 3 dices rolled, and obviously it appends that to the results list. And then here just modifying this and changing this, because there's more dices, you change the range to 19 and to 3, and just displaying the title and labels and all of that, and it shows essentially here. Then difference here is just using multiplication instead of addition to for both methods being called for both with both instances. So because you use multiplication to determine the multiplied dice variable here, now we change these values for the range because the numbers are going to be higher now, essentially, because you're using multiplication. And same thing, just appending the frequency to frequencies over here, appending the multiplied die variable which contains the final result to the results list. And yeah, to show how that will look, it's basically here it shows the multiplication of the two dices being rolled and then also the frequencies, so the amount of times those results occurred, basically. Then here, just creating a list comprehension. So in comparison to here, basically in this code here we have the for loop and we have an empty list results. But here we're basically placing the calculation, right, for both instances and both methods being called. I mean, for that one method being called, we place it within the list. So automatically it would be that value will be shown to results. And while we do that, we use the for loop for it to loop through the range. So because we're rolling the dice 1,000 times, so it will loop through from 1 till 1,000 and display the results through that range. So that's passed into this list. In comparison to here, it's outside of the list and you have to append and stuff. So here you don't have to append to the results list. And same for frequencies. Basically there's the list and we basically pass this count method in the list, which counts the results that occurred in the results list, right? And using the for loop, so it can loop through pause results, which is over here. So it loops through the range and then it displays the results in the graph. Then here you just print the frequencies, and here's the title label and then the figure as well, and then fig.show, which displays the whole thing. So essentially that will basically be the same, it's just a different way of writing the code. So yeah, that's basic summary of part 2 for chapter 15. Pierre, anything you want to add? Hello?
No questions.
Alright, cool.
No questions. No questions.